the monster. Oof. That's a bad guy he beat too. Broke him down. Ooh.
Culminating with Moses' performance against a guy who's never ever been stopped. Tough guy. Caught him with a good shot as well. Caught him on the whiskers. And he was very, when you look, he's just turned 21 and you look at his composure, his professionalism, and how he went about his job. It just broke him down. And the shots he stopped him with at the end, they were just phenomenal.
Did you expect the fight to go like that?
I did, but yeah, it was good. Good test up until that point.
Mike Tyson didn't hold back in his reaction to Moses Itauma's brutal knockout of Jermaine Franklin, calling the young fighter truly frightening.
He's better than Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a little like that. Just as good.
He looks like a f***ing pop star.
Oh, wait till he get on these motherfuckers.
The most efficient hunting machine in all of boxing.
He's vicious.
From the opening bell, Moses Itauma came out aggressively, using his speed and sharp combinations to pressure Jermaine Franklin, who struggled to keep up with the younger fighter's pace. Itauma controlled the early rounds, repeatedly backing Franklin into the corners and landing clean shots.
Moses Itauma knocks out the 989 assassin, Jermaine Franklin, in round 5. It was brutal, it was hard, he even gave him a little slip punch after the knockout. What'd you do?
Mike Coppinger praised Itauma, tweeting, "What a knockout. A blistering left uppercut sends Jermaine Franklin flat on his face in round 5. Moses Itauma, it's impossible to overhype him right now with the way he looks." Franklin later admitted he drifted away from his original strategy. Instead of staying disciplined and defensive, he got drawn into exchanges, allowing Itauma to dictate the pace and land damaging shots that ultimately led to the knockout.
I feel like I got a little bit away from the coach's game plan. I got caught with a punch. I got dropped. I feel like I could have got up, but they stopped the fight.
Where do you feel you go from here?
I mean, the sky's the limit. Like I've never been a quitter, so just back to the drawing board. Got to change some shit up.
Fabio Wardley gave a blunt and telling reaction after watching Moses Itauma destroy Jermaine Franklin, highlighting just how dangerous the performance really was. Wardley also praised the referee's decision to stop the fight, stressing that Franklin was clearly hurt and needed protecting rather than being allowed to continue.
Moses Itauma with a destructive knockout. What did you make of it?
Yeah, look, fantastic performance. Fantastic performance. Won every round, picked them apart, up, down, mixed it up. Body, head, just showed everything we knew, but with a little bit more on top as well. And then obviously got the clean finish. Single punch knockout finish. No one else has been able to do that to Jermaine Franklin.
Did you expect the fight to go like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I predicted round 6.
Yeah.
I said 6-7 is what I said, because I knew Franklin was a tough man. You're gonna have to wear him a bit and break him down and wear him through and do a bit more with him. So yeah, it went pretty much how I had it.
And what do you make of Moses' general performance? You know, he got tagged a couple times. What do you make of it?
Yeah, look, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You're not going to swim without getting wet, and that comes with stepping up the levels, and that's what tonight was about. It was about stepping up to a higher level, showing if he can compete and he more than.
He highlighted that in moments like that, a fighter's safety comes first, even over pride, adding that it's the referee's job to save you from yourself.
Where do you think Moses Itauma ranks in the heavyweight division?
Look, he's up there with some of the best. He's ranked number 1 with the WBA and WBO for a reason. He is up there with the top boys.
Do you think that he could win a world title? You know, obviously, you've got one yourself. Do you think he can win one within 2026?
Look, yes, but boxing's a funny game. It's political. There's landscapes. There's certain ways you have to maneuver to get there to a world title shot. But yeah, look, if the opportunity was put in front of him to fight for a world title, then yeah, I definitely think he would.
Aside from yourself, do you think there's anyone in the heavyweight division that can beat Moses?
Sorry?
Aside from yourself, do you think there's anyone who you think can beat Moses?
I think the only real question mark lies around Alexander Usyk. That's one to be seen, one we don't know. But aside from that, again, along the rides, I think if he gets the right growth, the right type of fights, right building, no.
Boxing content creator Hamid shared a ringside view of the fight, saying if Moses Itauma can carry this form. Especially against a top-5 opponent like Filip Hrgovic, it would be extremely impressive. He noted that Jermaine Franklin showed a solid chin and durability, but Itauma still landed a nasty, vicious uppercut to secure the knockout in round 5. Promoter Frank Warren was also full of praise after Itauma's dominant win, making it clear he believes the young heavyweight is already on the brink of something special.
Week, another sold-out Queensbury show, another Moses Itauma knockout. This is just Queensbury, right?
It is. I mean, you know, this roller coaster we're on, it's not gone up. We're flying at the moment, and it was just a fabulous night. Great concept, Magnificent Seven. Great fights all the way through, culminating with Moses' performance against a guy who's never ever been stopped.
Frank Warren explained that the plan is to keep Moses Itauma active, with another fight expected soon as the heavyweight division reshuffles around the world titles. He suggested that with champions potentially vacating belts or facing mandatory defenses, Itauma could step into a world title fight as early as 2026.
About him in just a sec. I just want to speak about you for a moment and your mindset going into this fight, this campaign, since this fight was signed. You know that you've got a great fighter on your hands here, but at the same time, you've got to manage him, you've got to go through his career properly. And you put fighters like this and you think, he could give him a test, take him the distance, and he could make it a horrible, ugly fight, and maybe Moses doesn't. But you've got to put him through that. Leading up to this, how did you feel coming up towards fight night, confidence-wise, that Moses wouldn't just win but shine?
I've got a lot of belief in him, and I believe that we're good at is matchmaking. We're good bringing youngsters through, young fighters in their career, and it was good matchmaking, and I felt that the speed that he's got, the punch power he's got, and he's got a good boxing brain. And I think people underestimate that, and he showed that tonight.
He warned against underestimating Moses Itauma, saying he proved his level tonight. He also emphasized that the win over Jermaine Franklin, who had never been stopped before, shows Itauma is ready for the next level, reinforcing his belief that a major fight is coming very soon.
I just believe in him, and I believe that he would come through. And he did that, and he boxed extremely well, as I say, and showed a lot of professionalism in the way he went about his job, and done it in style. You can't do it no better than the way it ends.
We can talk superlatives in the ring of Moses Itauma all night. I was impressed watching him here in the press conference because he speaks like I didn't speak like that when I was 21, Frank.
Sure, isn't he? He's got a good head on his shoulder. He's very articulate. He's sensible. He doesn't. He's not boastful. He's quite respectful about boxing and the people boxing. He doesn't have to shout and make a noise to be seen. He does what he has to do in the ring, where he gets paid to do it, and the rest of it is just. I don't think even if he had his way, I don't think he'd even do press conferences. That's not the way he is. But he's a joy to work with.
Daniel Dubois gave a calm but telling reaction to Moses Itauma's brutal knockout. Clearly impressed by the young star's power and precision, he acknowledged the finish was serious and showed he's a real threat, but also hinted he's ready for that challenge himself, showing respect without backing down.
Sports Day, we're talking boxing. Daniel Dubois, Moses Itauma just knocked out Jermaine Franklin. What did you make of that?
Yeah, what a shot. Yeah, put that together well.
A lot of people expected the fight to end in the first 3 rounds. It went a little bit longer. What did you make of Moses in the first half of the fight?
Coming on well. I mean, yeah, interesting.
You've got a big fight yourself. Fabio Wardley had a face-off. How's training been going for that?
Perfect. It's been going really well. I'm excited. I can't wait.
And when you were young, obviously you've proved a lot in the heavyweight division. You've won the world title. Moses Itauma is highly touted, just like you were. Do you see similarities in yourself?
Yeah, he's on his path, and he's looking good.
Do you think your paths could ever collide?
Eventually, I think anything can happen. So, but I've got to take care of business first.
Do you see any weaknesses in Itauma's game?
I'm not going to give him away if I do.
Daniel, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Alexander Usyk, one of the most technically sound boxers of this generation, didn't hold back his admiration for Moses Itauma. In a recent interview, Usyk praised him as a great young fighter and highlighted his strength and maturity inside the ring.
Moses Itauma, I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Former world champion Amir Khan has also spoken positively about Moses Itauma, saying the young heavyweight clearly has a bright future ahead of him and looks fearless stepping into the ring with bigger, more experienced opponents despite his age. Khan believes that while Itauma is still developing, his willingness to challenge established fighters already sets him apart from many prospects and shows the kind of mindset that could take him far in the sport.
One punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Itauma. I mean, he knew that he can get him hurt, and he got him hurt straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick.
Speed kills, as you know.
Speed kills, and he had but not only the speed, he had the power with that, and the accuracy was on point. But I think it just shows how strong Itauma is and how powerful he is. He's a big threat in heavyweight boxing.
Do you know what's frightening?
What?
He's 20 years old.
Nothing that, bro. That's baby. He's a baby in the sport still, and he's only going to get bigger, stronger, and he's going to mature. So you know what? I think he's got a bright future in front of him. I'm sure he's going to keep on training hard, working hard, and yeah, man. I think he's got a great future ahead of him, man. I can't wait to see him again.
Moses Itauma's coach and team have highlighted the young heavyweight's serious commitment to learning the sport, not just physically but intellectually. Itauma doesn't see boxing as a simple punch-for-punch exchange. He studies how great fighters operate, often watching classic fights and reflecting on elite techniques to build a deeper understanding of movement, timing, and strategy beyond regular training routines. This thoughtful approach sets him apart from typical prospects. It reflects a disciplined mindset and rare level of focus for a 21-year-old, giving him both the mental and technical depth as he continues his rise toward elite-level competition.
I think probably the biggest comparison I would say is how Mike Tyson loved the game, would always study fighters of the past, etc. Moses has that same love for it.
Does he?
Yeah, like we'll send him his sparring at 2 a.m. He'll be texting us clips like, is this more what you want?
He's a student.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it. And that's that, along with his maturity at his age.
Very composed, isn't he? Very composed.
That is what is allowing him to achieve what he's achieving at such a young age.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of talented fighters out there, but not many that
can execute it on the back.
His coach shared that even in brutal minus 15 degrees Celsius winter conditions, Moses Itauma didn't skip a single run. He continued his grueling 1,000-meter hill runs without hesitation. That kind of mindset separates future champions from casual contenders. While others may rest, Itauma trains harder. It's that level of obsession and work ethic that has led analysts and veterans to believe he is destined for greatness.
This was Christmas Eve or something like that. At the time, I didn't have my running shoes. I wore my uncle's trainers, and I didn't really have no running clothes, and I wore his work clothes. Yeah, it's quite hard because it's also like 1,000 meter altitude, which makes it even harder with the snow, the altitude. And I actually slipped on this run as well because it's icy.
It's very honest of you to say. And what temperature would you say this was?
I think it was like minus 15.
Boxing analysts have been overwhelmingly impressed with Moses Itauma's rise, saying he's not just another talented young fighter, but a true future star of British boxing. After his latest knockout, pundits note that at just 21, he's already showing levels of speed, precision, and ring IQ that most boxers don't reach even in their late 20s, suggesting he could become a world champion sooner rather than later. Observers emphasize that the hype isn't empty. His performances, including dominant finishes and tactical control, are the real reasons experts believe he has all the tools to become one of the next big names in the sport.
He's going to get to all of those guys are their own characters. Moses was recently presenting an award at the Mobo Awards. I think the PR stuff is really coming on very well. We've got to remember he is just 20 years old. What was Anthony Joshua doing at 20 years old? You know, what was Tyson Fury doing at 20 years old? I don't think he was necessarily holding court at presses like that or going on Graham Norton. This is a young man with a long career. He's going to win a lot of belts and he's going to make a lot of noise, and I think he's doing brilliant.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas offered a balanced take on Moses Itauma. While recognizing his potential, Atlas also gave honest advice, stressing that Itauma must keep facing top-tier opponents and continue sharpening his skill set. According to Atlas, raw power alone isn't enough. He believes Itauma needs ongoing learning, experience, and development of his mental and tactical toolbox, which is how true champions are built. That Atlas's message is clear: don't rush, don't lose focus, and never stop improving. He added that if Itauma stays grounded and keeps working smart, he can rise all the way to the top. And for what he's shown so far, he appears to be on that exact path.
Concentrate on his career. Concentrate on what you're doing, forming him, developing him as the best fighter he can be. Not just a puncher, but a complete fighter. Not just a meteor across the sky that's streaking right now, but a planet. Someone with staying power, someone that can have longevity, with substance, and that comes with experience. That comes with fighting better guys. It's time to start now. You got everyone's attention. Now you got to start fighting the kind of guys that will make you that planet. That when your day comes, when the moment comes, and it's coming, but when it comes, you'll be ready. The most important questions are for the fighter himself. Can he depend on himself? Do I belong? When I get to that next level, can I feel sure that I belong, that I'm ready, that I can sniff that rarefied air and I won't faint from it? That's a big part of developing a fighter. That the fighter knows that they can depend on themselves, that they're ready for the moments that are coming. And that only comes from fighting increasingly better. You do it the right way, you do it properly. You don't do it in a rush. You don't do it where you make mistakes, but you gradually increase the competition with durable guys. I like to do it with durable guys who if you do falter a little bit, they're not big punches.
What do you think about Moses Itauma's destructive knockout and rising reputation? Do you see him as the next big heavyweight star, or should he be tested against even tougher competition first? Drop your thoughts below.